let's perform a safe and efficient transition for a multi-pitch rappel on ice. Hi there everyone, I'm Jason. Last winter we did a video on A threads and V threads, which you should check out as a precursor to this video, in which we are going to take those techniques to the next logical step. Today, we're using those anchors bored into the ice and transitioning from one rappel to another. Before we start our sequence of rappels, we want a few pre-rigged components. First, we want an extended rappel device that also has a personal tether extension. You can watch a short we did on the benefits of an extended rappel device. There are lots of ways to do this, but here I have girth hitched a 120 centimeter pre-sewn loop of technical cord through the two hard points on my harness, then tied a figure 8 using both bites of material but with one bite longer than the other, and now my rappel device goes through the nearer loop and the extension will be my personal tether. I can also carry a pre-rigged piece of anchor material. In this case, I'm using a quad anchor with the extension limiting knots offset. Water ice tends to shear horizontally, so as I build the initial anchor I need with screws, this allows me to have one screw higher than the other and have my limiter knots in the right place. Again, we have a short on how to tie this anchor. And I also want to have easy access to some 7mm cord, which I may use to build the rappel points, a knife to cut that cord with, and my V-thread tool, which can be as simple as a bent coat hanger. As we are coming down our first rappel and approaching the end of our rope, we want to be looking for a plane of ice that has consistent color. Ideally, we would like that location to not be directly in the fall line of our initial rappel to avoid ice coming down on us as our partner rappels. Seeing a potential location, we allow the safety hitch to engage and then tie a quick catastrophe knot below us. Now we want to place a good screw, and you can watch last week's video on how to place solid ice screws to get into the technical details of this important skill. Now we can add our quad material and use our extension to attach ourselves to the anchor as we lower ourselves until we feel the anchor take our weight. Safe, we can move the catastrophe knot to the anchor. This closes the system for our partner and helps ensure we maintain control of the rope. We can now come off rappel and our partner can start getting ready to come down. Off rappel. As they prepare to come down, we can keep working. I'm going to now build my A thread or V thread. Again, check out that video on the pros and cons of these, as well as a tutorial on how to build them. I want to drill my holes level to or just above the master point of my quad, which will allow me to use the quad as a backup for the next rappel, as you'll see. We are now ready to make the rappel point by either putting a runner through the holes, which creates some redundancy by having two strands on the rappel point, run a piece of 7mm cord through the holes, which will leave minimal material but loses redundancy, or run the rope directly through the holes, which leaves no material behind, but cannot be used in wet ice, or we risk having the rope freeze in place, making it impossible to pull down. In this case, we will run it through, cut a piece of 7mm cord at about an arm's length, and then tie it off with a flat overhand bend. We can now take the stopper knots out of the tails of our rope, take one end of the rope and pass it through our cord, or directly through the ice holes if that's what we're doing, retie the stopper in that end that we passed through, and clip it out of the way. Once our partner is down at the anchor, clipped into the anchor, and off rappel, we can now undo the knot we used to close the system and pull the rope safely, knowing we have it clipped in should we accidentally drop it. We pull until the middle mark is at our new rappel point. Now we can clip the ice screw anchor around the rope to act as a backup to the threaded anchor. We add back our rappel devices by putting on our auto block hitch and then our rappel device. We now release and toss the remaining strand of rope. We test the system, and then we might as well have our next climber add in their rappel device, allowing two sets of eyes to double check each person's system. If we are doing more than two rappels, the second climber can hand me the anchor they cleaned from the last rappel station. Our first climber can start heading down, while the second climber monitors the anchor and make sure the backup is never needed. Once the first climber is off rappel, the second climber can add their backup, weight the rope, clean the backup anchor, and rappel too. Note, without the backup in place, so some teams will ensure that the heaviest climber always goes first. Have you done multi-pitch rappels on rock, ice, or mixed? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching this video. Please like, subscribe, and share if you want to support us. For more information, you can go to our website at www.shortguysbetaworks.com. Consider checking out that video on A threads and V threads, or maybe check out our entire Intro to Ice Climbing series. We'll see you next week and keep on getting more out of that big outside.